where the truth gets clear. Every voice matters, every story's heard here. From home to the headline, she's breaking it down. Clarity and courage, that's how justice sounds. Order in her court, no matter the scene. From love and the law to what's on your screen. Family fun and the world we chase. Obreziah Bullard, justice in its place. Where we are. Every word, every view. Justice isn't just served. It's tailored for you.
This is a segment we call Motion for Advice. It's where you, our listeners, our viewers, actually send us questions, concerns, situations, hypotheticals, whatever it is, and we help guide you. Now, it's not legal advice, so I will tell you that up front, but we like to give you some insight, if that makes sense. Let's jump into the letter that we have for today. This is a letter from a father losing his footing. Dear Attorney Bullard, last month I found out the child I've been raising for 8 years isn't biologically mine. I was at the hospital when he was born. I'm on the birth certificate. I've paid for school, doctor visits, and birthdays. The truth came out during an argument. That's the most appropriate time for the truth, right? And now the mother says I have no rights. I'm angry, heartbroken, and terrified that the child who calls me dad could be taken from me. I don't know if love is enough to protect me now. Signed, a father losing his footing. This is a very, very painful situation that a parent can face because now it has attacked your trust, it has attacked your identity, and you are lost. And I'm sorry to hear that you're put in this position 8 years later where you don't know what to do. I don't have all the information that I need in this letter, so I'm going to cover a variety of different scenarios for you. One, I don't know if you're the legal father or if you're just a boyfriend. And those are two different things because in Georgia, if you were married to the mother, then despite the fact that you are not the biological father, you have legal rights to the child. So when you ask the question of you don't know if you have any legal rights to protect you, you absolutely do. Because despite being the biological father, when you're married to a woman and the woman conceives a child and has the child during the course of the marriage, then by law, you are the legal father. You have the legal responsibilities to that child. And until a court says otherwise, you can exercise all of those legal rights, including decision-making, custody, control, despite being not being the biological father. So that's scenario one, that you are married to the mother. If so, then you are the legal father. But if you're not married to the mother, when the child was born or conceived thereafter, then you are the non-biological father that does not have rights. Now that hurts because this child is 8. So you literally have raised this child for 8 years and you don't have the rights to say what you can do to the child. So you think, because you really do. The law changed a couple of years ago, and I think this became a trend where people realized that non-relatives were having just as much influence on a child as a relative. They were raising the child. They were bonding with the child to the extent where they became the caregiver. And Georgia now has what we call the equitable caregiver statute. And what this allows is a non-family member, a non-relative, a non-biological father, you to have rights, to at least petition the court to have rights. Now, it is a high burden that you have to kind of prove to the court. But based on the child being 8 years old, it sounds like you have a good fighting chance because you're well bonded, I'm assuming, with the child. You have a great relationship, and you can prove that the child could be harmed by ripping you away. And that's the key. This letter is written, or at least being received, with a lot of respect. Because the fact that you are trying to see what you can do to maintain a relationship with this child that you now know is not biologically yours says a lot about you. And know that you're not going to be left in the shadows. What you need to do is contact a family law attorney to discuss what rights you're going to have as an equitable caregiver. Now, if you are married to the mother, then you have the legal rights, and we need to talk about how you can move forward in exercising those rights upon the dissolution of the marriage, if it comes to that. So ultimately, you feel like you're losing your footing. You're not losing it. You're just transitioning. You're putting on a different pair of shoes. You still got your footing. Now, let's talk about some practical things. First, you said that you were angry, heartbroken, and terrified. Let me tell you, you're going to have to get you together before you get anything else together, because you have 8 years of a feeling that you now have to process in a very short amount of time. And whether you like it or not, it inadvertently is going to affect the child in some type of way. So you need to get you a therapist or a counselor, somebody that can help you process those feelings of, now I'm not the biological father. I don't know if this is your only child. I don't know if you feel as if now you can't connect with the child. The child is not going to understand either one of those. So you're going to have to get with the mother. I recommend that you all find a family therapist to be able to talk about, are we going to tell our son? Is this something that he needs to know, or we feel like we should share with him together? How are we going to deal with the blowback? Because he's 8. He's not 2. He's not 3. He's going to be hurt that he has been deceived this whole time. And despite the fact that you didn't know, he still may take out some of that anger on you, because now he may feel like that biological connection has been broken. So I want you to get you some help and talk about how you all can address that with the child, because the child has feelings and those feelings are valid, and they didn't ask to be put in this situation. Now, another thing I want you to think about is, if you are the legal father, if this is your wife that you're talking about, then do you want to terminate your rights? I don't want to assume that you want to continue a relationship. Even being heartbroken, you may feel like this is something you cannot get past going forward. If that's the case, then you need to terminate your rights, because if not, you're going to be 13 years down the road and you're still going to be responsible from this individual. Better yet, because you are the legal parent, what if you died and you didn't want to maintain this relationship? Now this child has the right to inherit from your future estate with other children that they're going to have to divide if you decide to have more children. There's a lot of different legal nuances. I had a case like this. And in my case, my client found out that his wife had cheated on him when she went on vacation. His 2-year-old daughter, who he thought was his child, wasn't his child. He was heartbroken. He was sad, but he didn't want to continue that relationship with her or with the child, for that matter. And so in the dissolution of marriage, we had to make sure that those rights were terminated. So in the future, he would not be caught on the hook, per se, for having to care for the child, because he's a legal parent. So you're at a fork in the road. You got to decide whether you want to maintain your legal relationship if you have one. But if you don't have one, you have to decide if you're going to get one and actually get some equitable caregiver rights. So you got some decisions, but before you make that decision, get you together. Get your head together, get your heart together, so your mouth will be prepared before you talk to this child. So when all is said and done, I want you to slow down, get legal guidance, and remember that DNA does not control destiny. That wraps up this week of Motion for Advice in Order in Her Court. If you have any questions, concerns, hypotheticals, or you just want us to weigh in on your situation, feel free to contact us at the information on your screen.